Hey everybody, John Skiba here from the Consumer Warrior YouTube channel, and in this video I'm going to share with you the 3 options you have if you've been sued by a debt collector. And I'm going to go over the pros and cons of each and go over all the details. But if this is your first time here to my YouTube channel, please click subscribe, check that bell, that way you'll be notified each and every week when I put out new videos that'll help you deal with your serious debt problem. All right, let's talk about you've been sued by a debt collector, the process servers come by, they put the summons and the complaint in your hand, and now the anxiety sets in. You want to know, what can I do? What are my next steps? And I've been doing this for a long time, and I can tell you, you really have 3 options when it comes to dealing with this debt collection lawsuit. One of those options, by the way, is typically not to do anything. If you just do nothing, then they're going to get a judgment against you. It's going to lead to wage garnishment, bank levies. They can lien your property, lien your home. Doing nothing is generally not an option. But the 3 options you do have, the first one I get everybody is you can fight it. You can fight back, particularly if it's a junk debt buyer like Midland Funding, Portfolio Recovery, Unifund, or one of the other thousands of junk debt buyers that are out there. You can actually fight the lawsuit and contest what it is that they're alleging. In order to do that, sometimes you have to have an attorney, sometimes you don't. A lot of what I do here on the YouTube channel is providing information for people who are representing themselves and just need some tips and some strategies as far as how you do that. Check out my YouTube channel. I'm not going to go into a lot of depth here, but let me tell you kind of pros and cons about contesting it. So the pro is, if you win, you don't owe anything. Not only that, they may have to reimburse you for your attorney's fees if you've incurred them, or court costs. The downside to it is litigation takes a long time. Generally, like here in Arizona where I practice law, even if it goes to the justice court because it's under $10,000 as far as the amount that's in dispute, it could take a year to resolve. And so you're going to be putting a lot of time in this. If you're representing yourself, there's just a lot of time involved in watching YouTube videos like this to learn kind of what you need to do, and it could take a while to get the thing resolved. Like I said, the upside is it's an all or nothing thing. If you win, it's awesome. You don't owe anything and the account goes away forever. However, if you lose, one of the other downsides to it, you're going to owe everything. You're going to owe the full judgment amount, plus they're likely going to add attorney's fees and court costs on top of it. So there is a time to litigate it, and you can put yourself in a better situation for step number 2, which is going to be settlement, by litigating the case a bit. But it's something to be aware of, that if you're litigating the case, and particularly if you're doing it on your own, it's going to kind of take over your life for the next several months, even up to a year, to finally get that thing resolved. So your first option is to fight it. Second option is to settle the account. All settlement means is you're going to pay less than what it is that they're asking for, and they're going to agree to it and agree to wipe out the debt completely once it's totally settled out, once you make that payment. So the benefit to settlement is it can be over quickly. It can be over even before you have to file a response with the court. You can negotiate something that's agreeable to you, agreeable to them. Once you pay it, the debt goes away. You can even negotiate that it be deleted from your credit report. The biggest benefit is just speed. If you're needing to close on a house, if you're needing to get some kind of, just get this off your credit for some reason very quickly, settlement's going to be the way to do it. It's also something where then you're not dealing with it for the next year. The downside, obviously, the big downside is you're going to pay money. And it's either going to be in the form of a payment plan or a lump sum, whatever it is you negotiate. Settlement can be a big positive, and how quick it is, the downside is you're going to pay some money. And I've even seen clients who 100% didn't owe it, but they still settled on a lower balance just because they're able to get done with this quickly and just get it out of their hair, kind of thing. So your second option is settlement. Third option is what I call the nuclear option. This is bankruptcy. Bankruptcy, particularly a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, will do 2 things. It'll stop the litigation and it will eliminate the debt completely. And so, a lot of this depends on how much you're being sued for. If you're being sued for a very large amount, then bankruptcy makes a lot of sense. If you're being sued for a smaller amount, if you're being sued for $2,500, then bankruptcy is probably not a good idea unless you're dealing with a lot of other debts. And that's what I ask people a lot here in my law practice in Arizona. If they're being sued for a $2,000 credit card, yeah, we don't want to file bankruptcy because frankly, it'll probably cost you more than that to file for bankruptcy. But if this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg, if there's a bunch of other debts that you're dealing with that are going to be, if they haven't filed suit, they're going to soon, or if there's other judgments out there, you may want to consider a Chapter 7 bankruptcy filing. Clean the slate, give you a fresh start, allow you to move forward without having to deal with all the lawsuits, having to deal with additional collections. The Chapter 7 bankruptcy typically wipes these things out, and most importantly, it stops the lawsuit right in its tracks. They can no longer continue to try to collect on it. So those those are kind of the big three. Again, you can fight it, you can settle the account, or alternatively, you can file for bankruptcy. I find it helpful to clients, I have over the years, as they're kind of the anxiety sets in about what am I going to do with this, to at least understand your options and be able to kind of walk through that mentally of saying, okay, I know I either want to fight it or I'm going to try to settle it, or it could be a combination of both. Let's fight it for a while and then try to settle it. Or if you don't have the funds to be able to try to settle it right now, but you will later, maybe you can contest it with the idea that you'll have an opportunity to settle it later. Or like I said, you can throw the old grenade in there and get rid of it all together through a bankruptcy filing. So if you need help with your particular case, my contact information is below. I do free consultations if you're in the state of Arizona. I'd be just happy to see how I could help you. Thanks for watching today.